All I needed was a big dove.
I totally think we should be dancing. Because we do. We want to have fun.
Because that's for so
That's really fun.
the whole process is a blast. An adventure.
Yes. But we do want to have fun. I mean, it's a tough, because like the transaction's not easy, but having fun during it makes it better.
It's keeping your sleep again. Yeah. And just knowing that we're going to ask for stuff and a lot of it.
We will love you for each day. We're going to ask for like 10 things.
And if your escrow is extended, the lender is going to want those things too.
Hey, you guys, we're live. We're live. So thank you for joining us for digging a bit deeper. We're going into the contract a little bit deeper, what to expect, whether you're in contract or not. It's a way to prepare, or if you're in contract, it's a way to understand what's going on. Why do these contracts keep getting extended? What are some hiccups? All these kind of things. So thanks for joining me. Mary Thomas with Remax Professionals, coming to you live in the area code 775. I have my beautiful friends here.
Oh.
Who are you?
Hi, Tracy McLeod with First Centennial Title. Very happy to be here.
And
Jennifer Fiore with Guild Mortgage. I'm very happy to be here as well. Thank you.
you are welcome, you guys. Thanks for joining us. We really just want to encourage you. Alfred, I see you over there. Thank you for joining. He's my friend. Really encourage you guys to go big with us, like answer questions, ask us questions, whatever we can do. We might not see them exactly, but at the very end, we're going to save time to answer those questions, but play along with us. Do your very best to not make fun of us online.
Please.
We just kind of put this together to help anyone who's in the contract understand what is going on, because sometimes we're wanting to tear our hair out. Even we are trying to not tear our hair out, right?
Correct. Very, very true.
So we just want to bring light to the subject here and make it fun, because it's not always fun, as you probably heard us chatting about beforehand. We're going to get right into it. Let's go deep with, obviously, when we're looking, we're going to go on the buy side for this section here. And if we're about to go into contract, obviously, right now, if my clients, I don't know, I'm sure everybody is on the same page, likes a house, probably everybody likes that house. And there's multiple offers going on right now, which is very hard and very stressful. So obviously we know the get pre-approved first.
Definitely.
Maybe even have your earnest money already written out before that offer gets submitted over. Have your agent do some comps, make sure you're not overpaying. If there's a bidding war, we do not want to have a hiccup with the appraisal coming in. What other things are we seeing? Jennifer, I'm going to go right to you on this one. What are some things that we're seeing, or something just to be aware of that might be extending the escrow or just maybe causing headaches? What's going on?
There's a few. I mean, right now, appraisals are definitely taking longer. The market is super busy. So instead of an escrow normally being 30 days, we're asking for 45 to allow for that time.
Okay.
So we're seeing appraisers sometimes take 3 weeks to get them done, sometimes 4.
And
so it slows the process down, and then we have to extend, and nobody wants to do that. So it's good to just come out of the gate with a little more time to allow for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know why this is happening? Why is it taking so long?
We do. So basically, these low rates are just causing everybody to jump in, whether it's purchase or it's refi. And so it's just bogging down the appraisers, and they only have so much time in the day to get so many appraisals done.
And it's not like they hired a whole bunch of new appraisers or anything. Can we even do that?
They can, but it takes a lot of time. There's a lot of education they have to do now to be an appraiser.
It's definitely
it's
a process.
Just turn around and be an appraiser. So it's a process. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
So this is something that's really happening, where this industry, for the appraisers, we're actually really short on appraisers.
We are very short. Yeah, very short.
And I'm thinking underwriters and different sides of this as well. We're short in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider a normal month may have, maybe there's 400 loans, there's about 1,000 in the pipeline, and that's month after month after month. And so there is only so many people that can work on loans. You can't just go hire somebody tomorrow when they are up and running, right? It takes, it's a process. So it's slowing the industry down, no
Yeah.
question. I think the other thing we're seeing that's slowing it down is COVID has caused a lot more documentation on the lending side, especially if you're self-employed. So they want to make sure that your business has not been impacted
Yeah.
by COVID. And so there's a lot more documentation. So, it slows it down too.
I never even thought about that, but that
Yeah.
would be an obvious thing to worry about.
Right? Yeah.
So what I'm hearing in this, what you just said, is a lot more documentation means we've already come to you every day for at least one thing that we
Right.
need. And we're going to come to you 5 times a day, making
Right.
sure that we're getting the underwriter, the funder, all of these documentations so they feel secure in the loan we're giving.
Correct. Right. Because
Okay.
that's their biggest worry at this point is this loan going to default in the future? And with COVID, and depending on a business, or even if you're W-2, you could be furloughed. So they're going to put a lot more scrutiny to make sure that it's stable income.
Whoa. They're not going to take our word for it?
No,
My
sadly.
word, my word.
They usually don't.
Right.
Well, I guess it makes sense if they're lending us all this money, they probably want to make sure we can pay it back over the life of the loan.
Correct.
And anytime things get a little bit more complicated, they're going to do a little bit more screening that
Right.
file.
Exactly.
Okay.
And on the
Exactly.
title side, we try to tell people that are frustrated and saying the lender wants this,
Right.
wants that. We try to say, be prepared. It's not that they just want some documentation. They need it for their investor to
Exactly.
even give the loan.
Right.
So
'Cause-
just be prepared that when you think we've asked for everything or the lender has, there probably could be one more thing.
Because
Ten.
we don't want to ask for these things either, right? I'd love to not have to ask for them, but sadly, you're right. It's the investors that we have to make happy so that they will give the loan. Otherwise, they won't.
And when the poor loan officer asks for it, get it as soon as possible. I've seen
Yes.
it take days.
And yes, and that slows it down too. So that's the other piece as a borrower. When somebody asks for something, try to get it turned around in 24 hours if you can, because that helps.
Or an hour.
Or an hour. Yeah, that too.
An hour's great. An hour is really great.
Yeah.
What other tips can we give the buyer when they're in contract to help it go as smooth as possible to be prepared? I mean, we're never going to have everything that the underwriter asks for. I mean, everything's been different. Every single file, they're asking for something we've never heard of.
Yeah.
But to the best of our ability, how can we help them prepare and what can they do to help this process? When it's in their
It's the
control.
documentation up front, and that's even before you're in contract. So you want to make sure you've given all the income documents, asset documents that your lender needs before you're in contract, because that is going to show the lender or the loan officer, are there any red flags I need to pay attention to now, to address now, instead of two weeks in the transaction.
You mean they should be fully approved, not
Fully approved.
pre-qualified when you're
Yes.
putting in a contract?
Exactly.
I think this is amazing information, by the way. How we doing on time?
Doing pretty good.
By the way, behind the screens, I have my lovely marketing manager, and she will be poking her head in and out to give us little things along the way. What other things that you would say? I noticed appraisers. Yes, those are taking a long time. And maybe the underwriting process isn't as we could usually expect, a 24 to 48 hours, once we handed them something to have it turned around. Is that something that's maybe taking longer?
It is, yeah. It's 48 to 72 hours. But the nice thing is, even with the, the influx of, or deluge of all these loans, whether it's refi or purchase, they're always going to put a purchase above a refi because people are moving, right? So those have priority. They will get looked at a lot faster than a refi. So.
I appreciate that because
Yes.
just so you know, they're going to look at your file so you get moved in as much as possible. Obviously, refinancing has to happen, so those files have to keep going.
Right.
I know that the underwriter, when we're getting the clear to close, might be in a different maybe office or state, so it's not like we can go there and just say, hey, get us that clear to close, right? They have to just do their thing.
They do, yeah. And most of our underwriters are local, but because of the amount of loans, we're still at some points offloading to, say, our Vegas branch or what have you for help, right? To help get them done faster. But most of the time they are local. It's still just a process, right? They have to go through their guidelines and check everything to make sure they have it to, again, make the investor happy. So it's time.
And even though it's so frustrating, thank you guys for joining. Again, please play along when it gets to the game time. I know it gets very frustrating, but to know that we really want them to go through it and scan the file, because we do not want a whole lot of loans foreclosing again.
No,
right?
right. No, and that's the beauty of, I mean, in some ways it's not fun to deal with it, but it's also going to set us up in the future so that we don't have necessarily a repeat of 2007, 2008. None of us want that.
Yeah.
So having them scrutinize these files a little bit more is good for us. It's good for the community. It's good for everybody.
It
So,
really is.
yeah.
And I know that, even me, sometimes I'm the most patient person in the whole world. I'm just playing. I'm like, what? Seriously? They want another thing? But okay, I try to be encouraging. Let's just get it to them. But really, when you're at that end, you can almost see the light. If you seriously can get that underwriter, the funder, the processor, what they're asking for within seriously a couple hours, or like immediately, if you're able to, they might not put your file to the aside and work on a different one. If you're that quick, if they know you're going to be quick, they might wait and work on your file. So really be quick.
Yes.
What other tips on that?
That sums it up. Honestly.
Yeah,
as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, on that subject, we've definitely hit that. We want to be quick with whatever the lender or the title is asking you documentations to get, or we will be late. I guarantee you. And even if we do that, we might be late.
Yeah. And I think the big thing too is from a borrower's perspective, just because we're asking for something doesn't mean that you're going to get denied. I think a lot of borrowers just assume, oh, if I don't get this, we're dead in the water. That's not always the case. So
Yeah.
That's what we get to do on the back side of things, is figure out, okay, if we can't get this, what else can we get? So that's just communicating with your loan officer on that.
Absolutely. Clear
Yeah.
communication.
Exactly.
And it does start with your loan officer and your agent. So you can get set up. You can see me later.
We love that. We're a little ahead on this side, so we're going to jump right on into the game.
Yay!
So
Okay.
who's we have James, thank you, and Alfred. Everybody, we're going to be going into testing your agent. Oh God, I'm really nervous. All of a sudden it got hot. I'm a little nervous. So we're going to be going into the game where we're testing the agent. What do I know and what don't I know? So the first the first three, we have fun little gifts. Do you want to bring those around as well? That we have here at the office for you to come pick up the winners. We have a wine. We have a coffee. 25 gift certificate, $25. And we have chocolate. We have you covered. Okay, we will think hard and long about these questions. The game is test your agent. What do I know? So I have a question from you and a question from you. And if I get it right, then whoever asks the question has to pull this paper and try to make the cup fall on the other cup. I'm trying to space it really good. And obviously, if I get it wrong, I'm the one that gets to try. So I know it sounds funny, but it's true. Hi, thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. So the first three people that comment on this, we have already a few on there. We will be giving you guys 1, 2, and 3. So the first three get one of these prizes. Question number 1.
How long does the bank have to clear a personal check?
So in this one, by the way, FYI, everyone, I said be easy. It's the first one. And I feel like every single one of these questions were trick questions. So I'm going to say when they give a check, a personal check for EMD?
Yeah, earnest money deposit, yep.
And how long do they have to process it? My first guess was 24 hours, and I got a look. So I'm going to say 72.
No. It actually is 10 days. Most banks get it done before then, but they can take up to 10 days to get that check processed. So if you're doing a quick close and you bring in a personal check and it's quicker than the closing within those 10 days, you might want to wire that money. So
Oh, see, I was way off. I was like, of course the bank's going to process that right away. We're in escrow.
it's rotten of me to give her that question.
It was
Rotten.
very rotten, by the way. I noticed, okay, darn it, and I still got it wrong because you put a hint in there when we were talking. 10 days they
10
have to
days.
process. My hands are shaking.
Sorry, sorta.
Okay, so
Sorry.
that didn't work out for me, but we're going to try one more because we have one more question from the.
Okay.
And the way you're looking at me, I feel like I'm already wrong.
So can you use cash at home for your funds to close?
So we're talking about bringing in, closing your amount to close, maybe $8,000 or $10,000. You have cash at the house, under your mattress.
Right, or you're safe, in your safe.
I'm gonna say, I'm so scared. I'm gonna say yes, only if we have proper documentation of where that money came
That's very difficult.
from. Okay,
So
am I on the right?
you are on the right track. It's safe. It is definitely a trick question. So
I said
Yes.
easy, by the way, everybody.
I will tell you.
What
okay,
is what do we got? Who's saying what?
You're doing great.
Oh, thank you.
as long as we can source it, but it's very difficult to source cash. How do we tell where it came from?
Let's dig deeper on that. What do you mean? What does this mean?
So
I have
our job
I
is
have
to
no
make
problem.
sure.
I pulled out money like
Right.
over the years, and if I showed it in bank statements, what does that
So
mean?
you would have to document years of bank statements, and all those bank statements would have to add up. And usually that's still not even acceptable because it's such a long period of time. But
Mm,
if you sold a vehicle and got paid cash, and we can document that you own the vehicle, like a title report, a bill of sale, let's say it's 5,000, and then you got the cash and to put it into your bank account, now we've sourced it. But it's very difficult, and every situation is different.
Did
So
we
if
catch
you have
that?
cash, please talk to your loan officer. There's
Okay.
ways we can make it work,
okay.
and there's ways that it won't work.
okay.
But you cannot just take your 5,000 or 7,000 or 10,000 in cash at home and go to the title company and hand them cash.
Do not
For your
bring
down
us
payment.
cash.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do not. Do
remember we
not
had
bring us
that.
cash.
Denise, she's gonna remember. We said bring cash to close, and he brought us cash at the signing table, and I was like,
Yeah.
But it was
No.
wonderful. He pulled it out of the bank and brought us cash, and I had to get a picture. I'd never seen that much cash in my life. I wanted to do the okay. So can I dive a little deeper on that?
Sure.
What if we're getting a gift? I'm a first-time home buyer, and we're getting a gift, and that gift is cash that was deposited in their bank account, and then it's given from their bank account to the buyer, and the buyer's now then taking it. Is it the same process?
Depends on the type of loan. So lending is not just black and white. Let's put it that way. So
Sure.
on an FHA or government loan, we're going to want to see the donor's bank statement that
Okay.
they have the money. And if they see a huge deposit go in, the underwriter is going to go, where did that money come from?
Ironically.
And again, we'll have to source it. But if it's a conventional loan, we might not need to see that bank statement. So sometimes that can happen. Don't you love lending? It's
I
not
don't
black and white.
know. So who gets to pull this?
You try it again. You did so well last
My
time.
hand's still shaking. Are those questions?
Nope, just saying
Scott,
hello.
thank you for joining us. I love it. I need glasses. Okay, I'm gonna try.
Got
So I was halfway right, but I still get to pull the paper. Comment below what kind of fun games you would like to see me do next time. I'm up for not anything, guys, but pretty fun games, even if I look silly. But I learned my lesson. Up for anything? No. Snakes, spiders,
Don't
those
know.
things don't go down with me.
Well done.
Like I knew what I was doing right
We've done this
there.
before.
Okay, we are going deeper on the title side. So quite a bit. I want to go in with the title side to thank you. I try. She said thank you. I try to do things on the listing side to help us out to avoid situations once we're in contract of I'm gonna just squirt this over here. Trying to avoid issues once we're in contract. So when I take a listing, there's a few things that really do help us. Number one, especially if it's not a brand new house, we're going to probably want to do a home inspection so there's no major surprises that we have to then work through. Because right now, things are just extending too much. It's not like before. So it's definitely something we want to avoid. Property profile, those help us quite a bit just to make sure.
We try to give them information up front to see what is going on with the property. And in some cases, even when it's in the listing point, we'll do a listing pre. Let's say we know somebody has passed away or there's certain things happening with that property. So we can get that all cleared up. So when the offer comes in, we're so many steps ahead. So of that type of situation.
And if you guys are looking to buy, when we're going through the buy side, please type in your questions. If you're looking to sell, type in these questions. Even if you're not even ready, you're just thinking about it. Because
absolutely ask. Yeah.
We definitely want to be making this worth your time. We're here to provide information. I know that we are seeing a lot of trusts and different things, probates coming through the sell side. So
deeds upon death, different things that seem to be like there's nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch. And deeds upon death are one of the newest things. As far as I know right now, we're the only title company that will actually insure those. We have a resource for that, but again, that's on an individual basis. It depends on exactly how things happened and what went on. And I know a lot of people have felt that they were told by an attorney, this is the best way to do it, but they didn't include the title company. So we have to make sure if it's a deed upon death, that the person that signed it with, they had everything, they knew everything that, let me get the words out. They knew and had their faculties about them, and they wanted to do this. It can't be that they're in a home with dementia and they signed this. So there's just certain paperwork, and each one's unique and different. So it doesn't mean no. It means that if you know you have that and you know this is an issue, reach out. I would love to help you, and we'll help you get to the steps and get to the things so you can sell your property. And so when a buyer comes, they can purchase that, and it's taken care of up front. Same with when somebody passes. Did they have a will? Did they have a trust? Was it in a joint tenancy? There's so many different things, and each one has a whole different story as to what needs to be done. So, just reach out, let your agent know. Mary will come to us and let us know right away, and we'll start working proactively to fix that.
We've done a few this month already.
And that helps to keep your escrow on its time frame.
Yep.
However, one of the biggest things, the same as it was with lending, is the property search, which is called a prelim that we do. We are backed up as well as everybody else. We prioritize and we try to do time frames, like this one's closing sooner than the other. So we always try to keep it in that line, but sometimes it gets a little bit crazy. Like there could be 4 of them closing tomorrow.
Yep.
And it's a holiday weekend, and it's this, that, it's that. There's all kinds of things
just happen.
that can happen. And we are working our best and working long hours and into weekends, but you just have to know that process is taking a little bit longer than it usually does. Usually we have them out within 3 days in a normal market to 5. And sometimes they're going longer than that. So be prepared.
There's a few things I heard there. So, with the lending and the title side, and you need to have your agent being on top of it and working really close and quickly with them. Causing a couple days here and a couple days there and a couple days here, you're late by a week, and that's if nothing else goes wrong. So I do want to encourage that if you're looking at selling and you don't have an agent yet, you always can call me. But even if you're not ready for that step, call title, and they can open up pre-escrow for you, different things like that to help guide you along the way, no matter what your situation is. If you're selling, forbearance, they can answer questions about that.
Now, anything that you're not exactly sure of on as far as dealing with your property, please call, and I'd be happy to direct you in what direction we'll clear that up and put you in a good spot.
That's a perfect opportunity. What's your cell phone number, Tracy?
775-230-0421. 775-230-0421.
She will answer your questions. On the title side, what else are we seeing that could, we have 1 minute left. That went by quick.
Things, I'm going to go really quick with things that slow things down. Not giving all your information up front. When an escrow package goes out, it's called the opening package, fill it out. Even if you think you don't need to and you can do it later at the signing, fill it out and get it back. This is important information. We're getting your payoff information. We're getting certain stuff. If we call you because we haven't had that, please answer us right away. Home warranty. If you're getting a home warranty, we cannot order that. We haven't seen the house. We don't even know the house. So please get the steps and get what you're going to do and get it to us so you can answer the important questions, because we don't know if there's a pool or if you need there's 2 air conditioners and different things that need to be on there. That's important. If you have a trust, if you have a partnership, if you have an LLC, get those documents to us up front, your trust search, your partnership agreements or your LLC agreements, so we can have that up front and we're not chasing it down, because each of those things take us a longer to get things closed. Home insurance, be sure right in the beginning, if you're already in contract, make the decision to your home insurance and get that ahead of time. That is something that is always we're running around. Your lender tells you to do it. Yeah. We're waiting to do it. Do it. That's all I'm saying. Just do it. I know everybody's busy and there's stuff, but it's like you think you can do it tomorrow. And then when tomorrow comes, you have 18 things to do. Yeah. So just do it and get it done so we can get things and invoices. If there's an invoice, that you are having paid through something that's done with the property, paid through escrow, get it into us, because after we close, we have no funds to pay it. The money's out, the money's gone. So we will hold up closing to get those invoices unless you guys go ahead and pay for it out at escrow. So those are important things. The special documents, if you know you're going to be out of state or you're going on vacation. I don't know why, but people seem to buy houses and go on vacation. These are things we need to know up front. And some people leave the country. So anything that you can give up front, the sooner the better.
I think in wrapping this session up, I've heard speed is the key on all documentation. And then crack the whip if your agent isn't speedily getting things over to you as well. You guys, we're going to stick around to review make sure we didn't miss any questions. And we want to just let you know that we're going to be doing this once a month on Wednesday. We're so excited about it. And this is just really to bring more information to you as you're in contract and how things are changing. So really comment below with questions. If you would like us to reach out to you privately, just say, I would like you to reach out. We will PM you and just let us know who you wanted to talk to. Title lending, me. So seriously, seriously, reach out. Comment below and we will make sure to get you those answers. And I know that a lot of times we don't want to do it, just like this. We maybe want to just have a private conversation just because we're curious. So we're going to go through and see the first 3 people that commented. We're going to PM you and get you your wine, your chocolate, and your coffee. In closing, how would they reach out to you, Tracy, one more time?
Again, you can reach out to me at 775-230-0421.
And
best number to reach me on is my cell, 338-5059.
And you guys, you can always reach me on my cell as well, 775-682-1973. We're coming to you live every Wednesday?
The 3rd Wednesday.
Is it the 2nd or the 3rd? Wednesday.
No,
we're going to check right now because
it's the 2nd.
Every
It's the 3rd.
Every 3rd Wednesday.
Do I win a prize?
I think Tracy should. So comment below if you need us. Comment below if you would like to see fun games in the future. Comment below with what?
Questions.
Any kind of questions to do with title and escrow.
We're literally bribing you to comment below. Till next 3rd Wednesday of the month, you guys.
Woohoo!
See you then.
That was so fun.
It was fun. You nailed it on
You
the
did.
cup on
You've
the
been
second one.
practicing.